So let's jump right into it. What is rent to own?
Rent to own, or
Who's it for?
yeah, rent to own, or in other words, a lease option, is kind of how we're defining the terms. And it's designed specifically for people who can't at that very moment get approved for a bank loan. Usually they're people who fall into one of three categories. They're people who might have bad or no credit. They're people who are self-employed, or even just don't have enough employment history, consistent employment history. Or they're people who are here on an ITIN, they don't have a social. And all those people may have trouble getting a bank loan from a traditional lender because of those reasons, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not a good borrower or that they are not fit to own a home. A lot of them are going and ending up renting for more sometimes than mortgages would cost. So that's at least who it's for. The process itself, the rent to own process, you basically purchase from the seller an option period. Typically it's $10,000 will buy you a 5-year option period where the home is locked in at a fixed price. For example, you want to buy a home, they're willing to sell to you for $300,000 that year, and they're willing to do a rent to own with you. And so you say, I'll give you $10,000 in order to have a 5-year option agreement where during that time period, that 5 years, you can just rent the home. And then at any time during the 5 years, it doesn't have to be the full 5 years. It could be 2 years, 3, 4, whatever. But at any point during that 5-year period, once you've fixed whatever it is that's holding you back from getting approved, you can actually just go right ahead and get permanent financing on the home. So again, that $10K, it'll buy you a 5-year option where the price is $300,000. Typically, there's like a fixed appreciation schedule. So for example, the home might be worth $300,000 in year 1, and then maybe you add 2% to the price every year that they don't execute the option. Typically, that it's an appreciation rate that is much lower than the current real appreciation in that market. For example, the appreciation is 8% in that market historically over the last 5 years or something. You can go in and buy the home on an option agreement and have it be only 3% appreciation each year. And that way, every year, even though the home's appreciating, the seller gets a little bit of that. You get to keep the bulk of the appreciation so that it's worth it for you to bring that $10K to the table. It's the same with the rent. The rent that you're paying, it's on a fixed appreciation schedule. The landlord, the person selling it to you on that option agreement, they can't go and raise the rent in a year. It's a fixed schedule. I usually do about 5% increase per year. Negligible, very negligible. Whereas in Phoenix, in our market, there were some homes where it was like 40% increase in a year. So even if rents go up 40% next year, your rent will only go up 5% each year that you're in the home. Even if it takes you 5 years, it's only gonna go up 5% each year until you execute that option. So that's, in a nutshell, the rent-to-own lease option strategy. It's very good for people who want to get out of renting and get into ownership without losing out on some of the benefits like appreciation or having their landlord sell the property out from under them or do arbitrary increases in rent.
Now, is this something that you guys do all over the place, or is it just in Phoenix?
Yes, we do it all over the country. Simple Start Homes actually will help people rent to own in many different states, pretty much anywhere. We've already operated out of probably 10 or 11 different states, but there's really nothing holding us back from doing every state in the country. So Simple Start Homes offers rent to own lease option properties. They offer owner finance properties, stuff that's already in inventory. But if you wanted to come in and get help with your own lease option, maybe you have a seller or a property that you already have kind of agreed to do something like this with, then you can call us up and we can help walk you through the process and maybe even do the paperwork for you so that you know it's done right.